What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to another Sunny review. And today we are looking at Zombie Driver Immortal Edition, and this is published and developed by XOR Studios. In this game, you're a professional driver who will take on missions for the military in a big zombie-infested city. There is 31 missions in the story mode, which will include a lot of rescue and extract missions, protecting cargo, blowing up stuff, and destroying hordes of zombies. When you start off, you get access to a taxi in the story missions, and from there you'll have the ability to unlock up to 13 different vehicles, ranging from a sports car, a police car, limousine, a city bus, an ambulance, with each one of these vehicles having their own stats in armor, ramming, and speed, and all three of those attributes are 100% upgradable. And when you upgrade them, you'll even see a change in appearance. For example, you'll see an upgrade in the armor and the armor plating built in the car. Then you have the upgradable weapons that will work for all the vehicles, which are the machine gun, the flamethrower, the rockets, the railgun, and my personal favorite, the nitro. Watching me with a nitro boost on a city bus is absolutely hilarious. But to be able to upgrade these stats, you'll be gaining cash from killing hordes of zombies and killing them by having huge strings of combo kills. So the more you kill in quick succession, the more money you get. You can also get cash finishing the missions or doing extra goals on missions to unlock extra cash. You can also unlock extra vehicles on these side missions. For me, this was an awesome touch to not only unlock vehicles through the main story playthrough, but to see it as an option in the extra side missions, making those missions actually valuable and worth doing. And that brings me to the missions themselves. As I said earlier, there will be a lot of rescue type missions, but these get extremely repetitive as I went on. For these events, you'll get the number of survivors you'll have to rescue prior to the mission starting, and this is where some pre-planning can go a long way. If you have multiple people to save, you might consider bringing in the limousine. Or if you have 20 plus people to save, you might want to bring in the city bus. There will be missions that are more about speed and timing, and you'll want to use the vehicle you're most comfortable with in terms of moving quickly within the city, but also can pack a decent punch, like for example the police car. But if you're someone who just sucks and has a hard time staying alive, you can change it up and get a car with a ton of armor and ram power. You'll also have some missions that will have you 100% in a tank the whole time. You'll just be destroying things, inflicting tons of damage. You'll be causing chaos and mayhem. And then you'll have some missions, you'll be in a bulldozer and you'll just be bulldozing things and making all sorts of space. So there's definitely some variation here with some of the missions, but you'll mostly get rescue stuff. But when I did get to do some boss battle, these were a ton of fun and I had a complete blast. Unfortunately, there were too few and far in between. As for the gameplay and handling, this was an absolute huge positive here with Zombie Driver. The vehicles all have tight controls, and if you've ever played any top-down car games like GTA Chinatown Wars, you'll be in a familiar place here. Acceleration handles really well, handbraking will be your best friend in the game, and running over zombies is gonna feel beyond satisfying. You only get to equip one weapon at a time, which usually has a limited amount of ammo, so you'll be on the prowl for weapons scattered around the map. Which brings me to a huge mechanic point in this game, and that is the items on the floor. If you've ever played any of the old school vigilante games, which I feel this game was definitely very heavily inspired by, you'll see it drops all around the map with health and weapons, and you'll have to constantly pick these up to survive to beat the missions. Not just by picking up health, which will be key or you'll lose the mission if you die, but you're having to pick up weapons as well, as sometimes you can't really clear out an area without picking something up. So you'll want to memorize where things are when you're picking things up in certain areas, as it will be key to succeeding in this game. As for the other modes, I was kind of shocked by these, as they were their own standalone parts of the game, which made sense considering some of this was DLC on the PC that got ported and integrated into this Immortal edition, which by the way is awesome. We have Blood Race mode, with different tiers of difficulty and its own unlock system and progression here, which was really surprising. You'll be able to use some of the vehicles from the story mode here, which is a nice touch to see some of your hard work will carry over into this mode as well. In Blood Race, you have 3 different types of races. You'll have a classic race where you'll be competing to be the first to the finish line, with the twist of being able to knock each other out with weapons you pick up from the floor. The only criticism here is that it was extremely hard to aim at other cars and almost felt like luck half the time. You'll definitely have to time your shots to where you're in the course, and if a turn comes up, you'll see the enemy swivel, so you'll want to be really good with your timing, and you'll find that this will be pretty difficult in my opinion, but it could have been that I just completely sucked. Then you have Eliminator, which is not a race, but instead here you're going to be trying to take down as many vehicle participants as you can, and I think getting the last blow on the car here will get you points. The same issue still applies here with the aiming, like I said previously, and this was by far the event I struggled with the most in terms of getting a good score and rank, as really just trying to chase down cars and being unable to aim was really difficult. So hopefully you guys will have a little bit better luck here than I did. Last but not least, a unique event of endurance where your car has a bomb strapped to it, and your job here is to get to the checkpoints to add time before you will inevitably explode. Essentially, you just want to race as fast as you can and keep the timer going for as long as you can, and the car that does the best here will win this event. With Blood Race, you have your own separate cache here from the story mode, and you'll be upgrading like in the story mode with a vehicle of your choosing, and there's also exclusive car unlocks with Blood Race as well. So this is a neat addition to the game and just adds some extra replayability, which I did enjoy, but I can see after a few hours it's getting a little bit repetitive as well. Then the last mode we have is Slaughter Mode, where you'll get wave on wave of zombies coming after you, and the twist here is you won't be saving your money like in the other modes for upgrades. Instead, after each wave you survive through, you'll be picking up a random upgrade scattered throughout the arena. There isn't much more to this mode outside of just picking the car you want and seeing how long you can survive. But while I'd enjoyed my time quite a bit with Zombie Driver Immortal Edition, I think my biggest gripes was just the repetition. The game itself handles really well. I had no lag issues even with the hundreds of zombies on the screen, but by far my biggest knock is the missions just being too similar. The map being as big as it was and then having to go across the map to repeat saving people trapped got really old. When the missions had variety, I really got into it. I think the slaughter mode didn't have much going on and it was really a bit gimmicky. Blood Race is fun. It almost had the same issue though, I think, as story mode, where once you played it for a few hours, the repetition really starts to sink in a bit. I also would have liked to have seen more boss battles than the few that the game had. I'm also sure that since this game came out almost 7 years ago, everyone and their mother has requested for this game to please have co-op. All it's missing is some beautiful co-op. But even though those were my gripes, this game overall is an excellent game. While the game doesn't have its HD upgrade like the PC here on the Nintendo Switch, I think visually it still looks great. It runs 100% smooth, and on handheld I had zero problems. The controls are tight and easy to pick up. There's a ton of content packed here with a huge story mode that will take time to beat. Plenty of cars and upgrades to unlock for each. The price point is exactly on point, so the game is, for me, is getting a 7 out of 10. It's just a solid addition here on the Nintendo Switch, and heck, I've always loved killing zombies in any way, shape, or form, so this definitely checks that box for me. But if you guys enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. Sub to the channel if you're brand new. Consider checking out my Patreon, as even just a $1 donation just goes such a long way. And as always, I hope each and every single one of you has a sunny day.
Thank God! Rescue at last! Our ambulance driver was eaten by one of those big zombies outside. Here, take his keys to the ambulance and get us out of here.